Vice President Biden, this sort of stuck out, right? And I asked this morning because we were going to lead with something else, and then I said, Gene, what do you think? And he said that was the most surprising thing he's seen in the past 24 hours. Vice President Biden making good on his promise to stay in the mix throughout the Democratic primary. And in an interview last night, he offered this patently frank explanation about why the Democratic primary feels closer than so many predicted.
I think that Bernie is speaking to a yearning that is deep and real, and he has credibility on it. And that is the absolute enormous concentration of wealth in a small group of people with the middle class now being able to be shown being left out or stagnant.
Hillary's talking about that as
well. It's relatively new for Hillary to talk about that. Hillary's focus has been on other things up to now, and that's been Bernie's. No one questions Bernie's authenticity on those issues.
And they question hers, you think?
Well, I think they question everybody's who hasn't been talking about it all along. But I think she's come forward with some really thoughtful approaches to deal with the issue.
So, translation, Joe, her message is not authentic, and Bernie's is. I mean, I don't know how else to look at that.
Well, that's the message when he says, well, she's relatively new to being worried about people that are poorer than the rich, income disparity, which is, of course, the most important issue right now, not only the Democratic Party, but a lot of economists would say in America. And she's flip-flopping on a lot of other issues. But there's no doubt Joe Biden has said that he's haunted every day by the decision that he made not to run. He sees that Hillary's behind in a lot of polls. She's behind in Iowa. She's behind by a large amount in New Hampshire. He sees polls where Hillary Clinton does worse against Donald Trump than Bernie Sanders. And there is no doubt about it, and we have talked about this, Gene Robinson, that the question is not what happens to Hillary Clinton running against Bernie Sanders in South Carolina after she loses Iowa and New Hampshire. If she loses Iowa and New Hampshire, the question is that when Joe Biden and John Kerry, who have been privately thinking about this, discussing it with friends, even Al Gore, who friends say has been obsessed with the issue of whether he should jump in the race or not, do they see that weakness as an invitation to open this race as wide open as Republicans will open the race up if Donald Trump wins Iowa and New Hampshire?
Well,